Professor Kazmi from Aligarh Muslim University to throw some light on us. And I think I'm looking two respected personalities here. Yes, one of them is gladly agreed to speak on. So, Professor Kazmi first. And
Respected President and dear teacher and students, I am from Aligarh Muslim University teaching comparative study of religion. In our department, we are running three similar streams: Islamic philosophy.
10 to 12 minutes.
Okay, now it is quite up to you. Islamic philosophy, Indian philosophy, and Western philosophy. Throughout India, you will not find such a department that runs three equal streams. It is my pleasure that I am with you, and I think if I am able to give something on that dark side, which generally we have left, and that is Islamic philosophy. When we are talking of the history of philosophy, we are dealing with different corners of the universe, starting from the Greek or Thales, and after that three great philosophers, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. And then if we are coming to this land, India, we are having Vedic philosophy, Upanishad, then we are having Bhagavad Gita, and many schools like Buddhism, Charvaka, Jainism, and other schools. So far as Islamic philosophy is concerned, the origin of Islamic philosophy is the Holy Quran, and after that tradition of the Prophet, in which the same issues have been taken into consideration. What is the main problem of philosophy, as we all know? That is the relationship of man with God and universe. A triangle is there, and for that very triangle, we all philosophers strive. My submission here is that, to me, if we are really a sincere student of philosophy, we must see everything objectively, critically, and we should not be a part of that very system from which we belong. You can't separate yourself from that very system, but when you objectively see things around you created by God, or for those who do not believe in the existence of God, as a student of philosophy, if we are not objective, we can't solve problem, because philosophers are there who are guide towards all systems which are running by people, though they are politicians, religious leaders, socialists, business class, whatever it is. Philosophy being the mother of all sciences, if we are honest towards this our subject, especially when I am talking in Quranic terms, if we are not reflecting, the Quran says, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ, you must reflect. You should not accept God blindly. You see, the signs are there. Ayatullah, God's signs are around you. Even human beings, they are signs. God has created human beings from single pair. There was no question of this being a Sikh, being a Hindu, being a Muslim, being a Christian, or having the same blood, or having the same mind. When we are having same mind, same blood, same creator, our thinking must be same. The Quran says, if God has created you from the single pair, you should not be divided for something which is not yours. Even your health, even your property, even your own dears, nearest, these are for the some time, for the time being, these are yours. But when you are objective, when you are truthful, when you are honest, it means you are a real student of what you can say philosophy and dear to God. My submission is here, when we see Ibn Arabi, Sufistic philosophy or Bhakti movement, when we see Shankaracharya, when we see these bhagats who are sacrificing everything for the sake of Almighty God, and they are loving creation, they say that God doesn't need anything from human being. What he needs is the love towards his creation, and the supreme one is the creation of God, that is human being. Quran tells us, if you kill a person, someone asked me in the Washington DC, student of BA, they asked me that we are told that Islam is a religion of terrorism, is it so? Then I narrated 2 verses from the Holy Quran. The translation of those verses are, the one, if you kill a person knowingly, you are not killing merely one person, but killing nation as a whole. Another verse, if you are saving the life of one person, you are not saving the life of one person, but humankind as a whole. This is the message of the Quran. If someone in the name of Islam is doing all what is not in the Quran, it is not the fault of Islam. It is not the fault of Quran. It is not the fault of Prophet Muhammad, who is among the 100 great thinkers number 1. I think if people who follow their religion, if they are doing something wrong, we should not attribute those wrong actions towards his or her religion. Whatever action I perform as a Muslim, as a Prof.Kazmi, I am responsible for that. Islam tells us, and moreover, one important thing in the Holy Quran is written that when we say that God is attributed as Rabbul Alameen, by Rabbul Alameen means that God is the master of every type of world, whether this world or world hereafter, or any 7 worlds, which worlds we are unable to see. He is the sustainer of everyone, whether you accept his existence or not. He still is there. In the same way, the Prophet is Rahmatul Alameen, that is blessing for everyone. And the same way, the Holy Quran is not merely for Muslims, it's for whole humankind. I would like to ask you, as the student of philosophy, if there are certain doubts, we must sit together. We must clear these doubts, because the main work of philosophy or the history of philosophy is that to clear doubts which are there in human mind, so that we can serve humanity in a better way. Thank you very much for all this. And in section, I think in the hall 13 or 12, my paper would be that Islamic ethics for peace and justice. I will be presenting my paper at in the second session, and I hope if you get time you can come, and I would like questions rather than presenting papers. I see the faces. If you can ask question, if I am able to answer, that would be doing, we are doing philosophy. Thank you very much.
No, now I was just thinking all the time, but ultimately I have been successful